Tonight on CTV News at 6, business is burned and the owner says she has no idea why. Vandalism and arson at multiple properties.
My mom, she's too afraid to go anywhere. She doesn't even trust her own house.
The rising cost of summer fun.
Expensive, but the experience is worth it overall.
And an Edmonton man is free after 54 hours on a Ferris wheel.
Well, a relatively quiet afternoon weather-wise. Tomorrow, though, we could have some good thunderstorms at this time of the day. I will have those details coming up with your full forecast.
CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Jeff Hastings.
Good evening. An Edmonton business owner has had 2 of her businesses destroyed by arson and another vandalized, all in the last 10 days. The owner's daughter says her family is in shock. As Nav Sangha reports, they say they don't understand why they're being targeted.
In the early hours Wednesday, 2 people in all black can be seen walking in front of a nail salon in West Edmonton. Then a loud bang, followed by the sound of glass shattering. Moments later, flames erupt, reflected through the storefront window. The target of the arson, Valley Nails and Spa, a family-owned business. The owner's daughter, who wishes to remain anonymous for her family's safety, says she doesn't know why anyone would go after her mother's business.
When I first saw this, my heart dropped. And then seeing my mom sobbing on the floor, it just made it worse.
And not for the first time. Their other nail salon in Southwest Edmonton was burnt down last week. Then on Tuesday, someone smashed the front door of their boba tea shop. Loud bangs can be heard from the surveillance video inside.
She's been crying this whole week. She feels like there's nothing left.
The owner's daughter says they did not receive any threats prior to these incidents.
We're worried that maybe the boba shop might be burnt down along with this, and it really breaks our heart.
The family has installed cameras at their home and started parking their cars inside their garage, fearing the worst.
My mom, she's too afraid to go anywhere. She doesn't even trust her own house.
The daughter says her father is disabled and cannot work, so the 3 businesses are her family's livelihood. Now with 2 of them destroyed, she doesn't know what her family will do.
The shops will take over a year to rebuild, and that's basically my mom having no source of income for a year, and that's really devastating for her.
A daycare next door to the nail salon where 74 kids are registered has also been shut down as damage is assessed. Police say today's fire has been deemed suspicious and they are investigating the other incidents. Nav Sangha, CTV News, Edmonton.
A 68-year-old piano teacher is facing sexual assault charges. Edmonton police say it received reports that over the past year, a 9-year-old girl had been sexually assaulted by her piano teacher on several occasions. Police say she'd been taking lessons at Peter Barant's home. Investigators say they're releasing his photo because they believe there may be more victims. They're asking them to contact police. The homicide section is now investigating the death of a 68-year-old man in central Edmonton. At about 10:30 Monday morning, police and emergency crews were called to 93rd Street and 116th Avenue. That's where they found an injured man. Police say EMS brought him to hospital where he died of his injuries. Police say the medical examiner has to do more tests before a cause of death is clear. A 48-year-old man was arrested at the scene. He has since been released. Police say the 2 men were known to each other. RCMP say they've foiled an organized car theft ring responsible for taking nearly 200 vehicles. Police say the group used the Alberta Registry's third-party authorization system to register fake VIN numbers under other people's names. These vehicle identification numbers were used to hide stolen vehicles. Since December, police say they've recovered nearly $2 million worth of stolen cars from across Canada and overseas. And officers are currently working to find more than 150 others.
They've registered and insured the vehicles to then immediately report them as lost. So then they're getting money from the insurance companies. So if you had a $60,000 vehicle, they're registering it to this third party. They're then reporting it stolen. So not only do they still have the stolen vehicle, they also have $60,000. 7
people are facing close to 100 charges. Edmonton police are warning the public about a series of apartment thefts in central Edmonton. EPS says someone broke into several units at a building near 106th Street and 97th Avenue earlier this month. Police say the thieves marked door frames of units with glue to try and figure out which were empty for long periods of time. Police released surveillance photos of two men hoping for tips. Police say anyone going on vacation should remember to hide valuables and have someone check their property while they're away. Alberta Premier Danielle Smith says she's still hopeful there will be a way to resurrect the Northern Gateway Pipeline project to BC. Plans for the pipeline from Bruderheim, Alberta to Kitimat, BC were rejected by then Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. Smith says she and BC Premier David Eby have a lot in common when it comes to energy projects. Smith says there's potential to take a new look at the plans.
It may not be the same route. It certainly needs to have a lot more consultation. The first time that it went through, it had 35 Indigenous partners who were equity owners in that, and that has to be the starting point for any new project. There has to be meaningful engagement and meaningful economic involvement of nations.
BC's Premier says he agrees with Smith that there is a lot of work to do on a project that would create great economic opportunity for both provinces. He says the pipeline would need private sector support before BC can turn its attention to it. Two former UCP MLAs trying to relaunch Alberta's Progressive Conservative Party are working on a new partnership with the Alberta Party.
This is a way that gets us official party status faster, but without getting caught up in all the legal games that the UCP seems to be playing right now to get in our way.
Peter Guthrie and Scott Sinclair are trying to work with the Alberta Party. In a statement, interim Alberta Party leader Lindsay Amantia says, "We're exploring opportunities and partnerships that would raise the level of political discourse and refocus the conversation on improving the lives of all Albertans, not just insiders." Guthrie says he'd eventually like the party's name to change. He says he received a cease and desist notice from the UCP trying to prevent him from using the Progressive Conservative brand.
Basically, what they're trying to do is throw us off course by dragging us into legal battles. But we're not quitting. We're adapting. And yes, this did slow us down a bit the last 10 days or so with this cease and desist maneuver. But really, it's only fueled us.
We reached out to the UCP for comment, but have not heard back. Guthrie says once everything is finalized, he will run to become party leader. Ground has been broken on construction of a new school in the city's south side for Edmonton's Muslim community. This field on 86th Street and 41st Avenue will one day be home to the Omar Ibn Khattab Academy. The school will also have a mosque built with it. It will accommodate about 300 students in the first phase. Eventually, it will be open to more than 1,000. Organizers say it's important for the students to be able to incorporate faith into their studies.
It means having a place that they feel safe, they feel their identity is respected. It feels to have a place that where interfaith can happen, where they can communicate to the neighbors around and they can show the real picture of Islam and Muslims.
The school will cost around $27 million. Staff say they are hoping to raise all of it through donations. An opening date is set for September 2026. People at K-Days were treated with an Air Force flyover this afternoon. The flyover was in honor of Local Heroes Day. The military also had a display of tanks and other tactical equipment.
And K-Days is an opportunity for us, the reservists and the regular force, to bring a little bit of what the military is doing day to day and offer civilians an opportunity to ask us about what we're doing, what kind of missions we're up to, and ask any questions they might have of soldiers on the day to day.
Today, military personnel, first responders, and healthcare families get free admission to the exhibition grounds. Well, after 54 hours up in the air, a man in Edmonton is back on the ground. CTV's Naramanisa joins us now live from K-Days, where Chris Sheets just finished his Ferris wheel fundraiser. Naraman, how's he doing?
All right, so we did mention that Chris Sheets was back on the ground, and then I said, you know what, you spent 54 hours on the Ferris wheel, how about another 10 minutes? We are back up in the air, Jeff. Chris, did you think you'd be back on the Ferris wheel so quickly after spending 54 hours?
I wish somebody loved me as much as I love you, because I can't believe I'm doing this.
Okay, so let's talk about it. You spent 54 hours riding the Ferris wheel for, a charity. Let's talk about the charity Alberta Dreams and what it does.
Yeah, Alberta Dreams delivers dreams to chronically and seriously ill children all over the province of Alberta, 320 different communities in the last 39 years. And so we want to continue to do more. There's more demand, unfortunately, and to do that, we need awareness about the charity because not everybody's heard of it, and we also need to raise funds, which is what we did with this amazing campaign with our friends at Explore Edmonton.
So we were looking to raise, you were looking to raise $54,000, $1,000 per hour you were here. What did we finish with?
I haven't done the math, but it's over 70,000 and counting, which is amazing. I'd love to get it to 75 if we can. I think we're very close to that right now. So even more than $1,000 an hour, well worth it for sure. And I don't know if I can get another 1,000 for this hour.
Well, you had some families that were part of Alberta Dreams riding with you. You know, how did it make you feel to be able to give them this joy?
It was amazing. Evie was with me. She started with me. She ended with me. The smile on her face. She's nonverbal, although she's starting to be able to communicate on an iPad with her eyes. Technology is amazing, right? But the smile on her face, and they asked her today with her iPad, they said, do you want to stay home or go on the Ferris wheel with Chris? She said, Ferris wheel with Chris. So that made it all worthwhile, and it reminded me of why we do what we do.
All right, so Alberta Dreams, he's still collecting fundraiser. You can go on their website. You could donate. It goes towards a great cause for children who really do deserve it all. So we're going to send it back to you, Jeff. We're going to keep rolling on the Ferris wheel. You want to go for another 54 hours?
Probably not.
Okay, maybe another couple of minutes. Back to you, Jeff.
All right, thank you, Nerman. And thank you, Chris. All right, Corey, that's a tough act to follow.
Yeah.
You're stationary. You're standing at a desk. You're not going around and around.
It's got some good speed. I was actually surprised at the speed it's going at. So
and we have to give some kudos to Nerman there because she's actually not very comfortable on that thing. So that was a sacrifice on her part.
Yes, for sure. And I feel like a lot of people are wondering, where's summer? Have we sacrificed it? Another cool day once again. Right now you're flying high with the CTV drone over the exhibition grounds for K-Days. A little busy out there. The sky still fairly cloudy. We did see some scattered showers move through. Most of those have moved out of the region. As we take a look at the River Valley Skycam right now, our temperature, we are back up to 20 degrees. Wind is fairly light. As we take a look at our almanac for today, that was our high. Average seasonal high 24, so another day below average seasonal high, and that has taken our total now to 8 days below average seasonal high, the days in blue. We've got 8 at average and 7 above average, so a little bit balanced. It just, with the last 3 days being below average, it just feels a little bit like it's been cooler throughout. As we take a look at the satellite radar, scattered showers south of the city towards the airport, Hay Lakes, Tofield. They're continuing to push to the east-southeast, and we will see some breaks in the cloud as we go throughout the evening, but still with that cloud cover, just a slight chance of scattered showers. We might gain a degree. If not, we'll be around 20 throughout the rest of the evening. 14 to start off tomorrow morning, and then our high for tomorrow is 26. And as we go throughout tomorrow afternoon, a good chance we could see some thunderstorms. So it could be quite active tomorrow, and then settling down for Friday, a high of 22. Jeff.
All right, thank you, Corey. After a hiatus due to the COVID pandemic, the illustrating man is back teaching local kids how to cartoon. Amanda Anderson has more.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go. Come on, kids.
Within seconds, these kids are seated and eager to learn.
Hey, boys and girls, copy me step by step. Start by drawing the koala's very big nose.
Danny Cohen is showing them how to draw cartoons.
Everyone can draw. If you can write your name and you can draw a straight line and a circle and connect it together, you can draw. Big circle. Step 1.
With the help of a projector, Cohen walks the kids through each step.
He makes it really easy because it's like step by step. Like I learn lots of little techniques for drawing.
It's a cartooning summer camp with an Australian flair.
Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Well done, boys and girls.
The camp is put on by Cartoon Kingdom, Australia's largest cartooning company. This is Cohen's first time back in Edmonton since COVID hit.
We used to get 60, 70 kids a day. We're down to 20 kids a day, but I'm hoping to boost that up again. And, you know, when the word gets out, they'll bring their friends, and next year they'll come back again, and hopefully the numbers will double.
Cohen Cohen says his goal is to get the kids to enjoy disconnecting from technology.
I mean, it's a lot of just meeting new people, which it's fun to make new friends, and then it's kind of like a day of just doing, like, not work or anything, like, so you get to just have fun.
Not only do they draw, but I also believe in taking the kids outside and having fun. So we have a good balance. We're indoors, we're outdoors. It's a good mixed match, and the kids love it.
Some of the campers now find themselves drawing at home.
Last time I was here, I drew a lot of the things I learned afterwards, yeah.
I practiced, and then my mom's like, wow.
There's still spots available in Edmonton until Friday. Then this cartoonist will head to Fort McMurray for a weekend camp.
And I do these camps in 11 countries around the world, but I think Canada's my favorite.
Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Edmonton.
Still ahead, bureaucratic hurdles post-wildfire.
We've done everything we can, and it's just hurry up and wait.
Some Jasperites share frustration with the speed of rebuild despite hundreds of development permits approved. Plus,
we're paying out these companies these settlements when they haven't actually fulfilled their legal reclamation requirements.
Look at how much Alberta taxpayers are on the hook for as the province settles a lawsuit over coal mining policy.
Brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
One year after a wildfire destroyed about a third of Jasper, the town is bustling with tourists as usual. But many Jasperites' lives are still upside down. Most of the destruction was in residential areas, and the rebuild is hitting bureaucratic snags. As Jeremy Thompson reports, the waiting is the hardest part.
High up at Moline Lookout, visitors scan the new landscape around Jasper. Blackened trees stick up like toothpicks, stretching into the distance. A closer look reveals new life is emerging, but regrowth will be slow in the forest and the town site. The Cabin Creek neighborhood on the east end of Jasper was hit hard by the fire. 1 year later, demolition is done, debris is cleared, and people are living in camping trailers while they wait for construction.
So we got drawings, we've got our paint picked out, we got our appliances picked out, we know exactly what it's going to look like.
But Jason Stockfish and most of his neighbors' new homes are on hold. This map shows permit progress for each lot. As of last week, 8 properties in Cabin Creek have orange lines indicating an approved development permit. Just 1 is yellow, where construction can begin. One snag for Stockfish, quirky lot lines he wasn't aware of.
Our eaves trough is extending over our neighbor's yard by a foot. So we need them to sign off on that, just like they'll need their neighbors to sign off on it, so on and so forth.
I was expecting to be in the ground in the early summer here and starting to build.
Encore Master Builder has contracts for 12 homes in Jasper, including Stockfish's, plus some row housing, and President Kevin Reid is in talks to build more. He believes staff at Parks Canada and Jasper are trying their best, but layers of bureaucracy are gumming up the process, not to mention old and odd zoning.
That's a little bit tricky to navigate when you're using, motifs from the 70s and different older zoning requirements. And you're building new construction.
While progress is slow in Cabin Creek, Parks Canada has been issuing plenty of permits in Jasper, approving 204 development and 65 building permits since May. Dozens more applications are under review for various property types. The development office in Jasper has expanded from 2 staff before the fire to 11 now, and the website says Parks Canada has also streamlined development review and approvals by updating land use policies, expediting approvals for variances, and eliminating steps in the development application and review process. Not everyone who lost their home in the fire owned it. Charlene Teotiu and her family were renters. They've been living in one of hundreds of oil field-style trailers supplied by Parks Canada since March.
A little village, a little community, which is great because that's what it should be, because everybody needs to be comfortable.
For a family of 5, it's just not working. After 26 years in Jasper, Teotiu bought a house in Edmonton. They move at the end of July.
Finally a home of our own, which is great. I know the past few years we've been renting, but we just love Jasper so much, so but it'll be a good change, I think.
Many Jasperites displaced by the fire have already settled somewhere else. Stockfish is here for the long haul, but the delays are eroding his optimism.
And we've done everything we can, and it's just hurry up and wait for a few months now, and I don't know what else we can do.
A spokesperson for the Jasper Recovery Coordination Center says it's committed to supporting people through the rebuild, adding, "We recognize that the process of rebuilding a home lost to the wildfire is complex and can lead to frustration. The rebuilding of homes and business in Jasper will be a multi-year endeavor." Encore expects home construction will begin in earnest this fall. In the meantime, more waiting for Jasperites like Jason.
Spend half my days just dreaming about being in my new home and wishing that the future would come faster.
Jeremy Thompson, CTV News, Jasper.
Alberta taxpayers are on the hook for more than $140 million and potentially much more as the province settles one of 5 lawsuits over flip-flopping decisions on coal mining policies. It's raising questions about transparency, reclamation, and what happens next. Mark Villani has the story.
$142.8 million is coming out of Albertans' pockets and being paid directly to Atrium Coal.
It's really unclear. It's not transparent about how that was calculated.
It's the first confirmed payout in a $16 billion lawsuit filed by 5 companies, all demanding damages over the province's shifting stance on coal mining. The settlement was posted to Atrium's website and never publicly announced by the government. As part of the deal, Atrium will surrender its coal leases. $6 million of the payment is also being held back until the company completes site cleanup. But questions are mounting about how this dollar figure was reached and whether the company will follow through on its obligations.
Concerning that we're paying out these companies these settlements when they haven't actually fulfilled their legal reclamation requirements and may not have the incentive to do so.
Could have been spent on healthcare or hiring educational assistants, improving our education system.
This latest payout stems from controversy all the way back in 2020. That's when the UCP government scrapped land protection rules and opened the eastern slopes to new coal developments. Some First Nations groups expressed consultation concerns at the time.
Most do not or didn't know these coal companies were being invited. Should be very concerning to all taxpayers.
But public outrage prompted a reversal a year later and a ban on exploration in sensitive areas. Companies that had already invested millions then took the province to court. 2 settlements have now been confirmed, but only Atrium has disclosed what it will receive. 3 other companies are still looking to cash in.
I can't speak to the litigation or the details of the settlement.
Instead, Alberta's Environment Minister says the focus now is on modernizing coal policy.
Is going to maintain our high environmental standards and make sure that there can continue to be trust in those standards.
But some say that trust is all but lost.
Really concerned certainly about the damage that's already been done.
Mark Villani, CTV News, Calgary.
Up next, the price of summer fun.
Expensive, but the experience is worth it overall.
A look at what it might cost to check out some of Edmonton's most popular festivals and where savings can be found.
When you go in and purchase a product with them, you'll get 2 complimentary K-Days admissions.
Well, the weather for K-Days and other outdoor events is going to improve a little bit for tomorrow for part of the day. After that, we've got some thunderstorms in the forecast. I will have details on that in your 5-day forecast coming up after break.
Programming brought to you by Century Casino. 3 great locations: Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile.
Everything seems to cost more these days, and summer fun is no exception. Going to K-Days can be an expensive outing, but organizers are offering options for people looking to get the best bang for their buck. Jeremy Thompson reports.
You don't have to drive to K-Days, but if you do, you're in for $20 before you reach the gate. General admission for an adult, $18, but the fair is offering cheaper options. 5,000 people got in for free on opening day. There have been special value days where a City of Edmonton leisure pass, library, or transit card got you through the gates. And K-Days has partnerships with local restaurants, too.
When you go in and purchase a product with them, you'll get 2 complimentary K-Days admissions.
Getting in is one thing. For some, the cost of everything else.
Expensive,
but the experience is worth it overall.
Hi, Martin.
Carnival games are a big part of the fun. Most cost $10 per play. And then there's the rides. You can buy various ticket packs, but the big rides cost 15 tickets each. So the best bang for your buck is to ride all day with a $73 wristband.
Pretty much anywhere you go and everything's pretty expensive. So yeah, you're kind of prepared to spend the big buck when you come to places like this.
Food is the other K-Days staple. And what did this run you?
About 130 for everything.
And how do you feel about that?
It's expensive, but everything's expensive.
Not everything. K-Days has plenty to see free of charge. Nightly concerts and fireworks shows come with admission. And inside the Expo Center, exhibits like the Indigenous Experience feature free events and activities.
We're turning this into a dirty Red Bull.
Of course, you can spend money too.
This will cost you $11 here at Starbucks Pre-Lemonade.
How much for a corn dog? $10? Could I get a corn dog, please? It's an extra $3 for the dill pickle mini donuts. I think I probably got to do that.
The dill pickles are $12.
I could eat that. All in a healthy meal, general admission, parking, games, and all the rides I can handle cost about $150. The price for summer fun, but one most we spoke with don't mind paying. At K-Days, Jeremy Thompson, CTV News.
Over at Taste of Edmonton, 20 tickets will cost you $37. Most food and drink items range from 2 to 4 tickets. Alcohol is $5, which is lower than past years. People we spoke with spent between $40 and $60 on themselves trying out the offerings.
It is a little high, but that's fine, you know. I don't mind the pay.
Yeah, prices are a little bit high, but that's to be expected for a sort of festival like this. But the food's really good, so I'd say it is worth it.
Unlike K-Days, admission is free for all. Taste also offers nightly concerts and a market. The event runs until Sunday at Churchill Square. All right, Corey, this time tomorrow you and I might be competing with the crashing thunder and howling wind and all the storms.
Yeah, good chance we could see some thunderstorms as we get into the late afternoon and supper hour tomorrow. So a different forecast for tomorrow, but prior to that, we will see a nice mix of sun and cloud, and it'll be warmer. Right now, you are taking a live look through the Action Furnace River Valley Skycam. Action Furnace Fixed Rider, it's free, and we are back up at 20 degrees. That was our max temperature for today. The last hour, we did see a slight cool down with some showers that came through, but now again, we're back at 20 degrees. As we take a look at temperatures this morning, it was chilly. Yesterday, we talked about a frost advisory that was in place for areas around Rocky. It was a chilly start for us. We started off at 6, Red Deer 4, Banff 3, Fort McMurray 4 degrees. Tomorrow morning, a little bit warmer, which will be nice. As we take a look at our current temperature right now, we are at 20, still warmer in the north. Fort McMurray, high level at 25. And to the south of us, Lethbridge, Medicine at 23 and 22. So temperatures warmer today, still just below average seasonal high for us here in Edmonton, which is 24. As we take a look at the satellite radar, off to the northwest, Grand Cache up towards Grand Prairie, Spirit River, those areas, seeing some storms pulling to the east. The showers that move through the Edmonton area are continuing to pull southeast of the city. Now from Vegreville towards Camrose and approaching Wainwright. As we take a closer look, now most of them are out of the city. Hay Lake seeing some scattered showers there as well. Mostly cloudy still as we go throughout much of the evening. With that cloud, about a 30% chance late tonight that we could see some scattered showers, so still a slight chance. Tomorrow morning as we wake up, a little bit more cloud than sun, a slight chance of scattered showers in the morning. And then we do see some nice clearing. It is going to be nice late morning and throughout the early part of the afternoon, but then late afternoon through the supper hour, areas to the north and the south, and then us here in Edmonton could see some good storms build up and pass on through. That will continue to move to the east as we progress throughout the evening. Things will settle down, but still some scattered showers throughout the early morning hours heading into Friday. So for tonight, about 18 degrees, wind light. Tomorrow morning, 14, slight chance of scattered showers, but it's tomorrow afternoon where we could see more action. 26 for a high, late afternoon through the supper hour and early evening. Possibly some good storms rolling through the Edmonton area. Even better chance north of the city as we saw on the Futurecast. As we take a look at our extended forecast, Friday, 22, a little bit more cloud than sun, slight chance of scattered showers. Cloudy Saturday, 19 on Sunday with a chance of showers. The weekend, closer we're getting to it, it is looking a little bit cooler. Hoping that improves. We did have a wet weekend last weekend, so it'd be nice to have a better weekend weather-wise, but at this point it's looking a little bit cooler with a chance of showers. Monday 22, what is still holding is the warm-up next week as we end off July and head into August. We've got some temperatures in the high 20s, a possible 30 for July 31st, and then after that slightly cooler. But in the meantime, what we're keeping an eye on is tomorrow, late afternoon through the supper hour and early evening, a good chance of some thunderstorms. Jeff.
Corey, thank you. Still to come, high-profile ruling.
This trial comes down to consent.
The timeline of sexual assault allegations against 5 hockey players as the high-profile case awaits a judge's ruling. Also ahead.
See the yellowing of the plant here and stuff. That's drought stress.
Severe drought conditions causing problems for some prairie farmers.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
A ruling is expected tomorrow in the high-profile sexual assault trial of 5 former World Junior hockey players. The players have all pleaded not guilty to sexual assault. From protest to criticism, CTV's Adrian Gobriel has a recap of the trial.
From teammates to champions to defendants accused of sexual assault.
This has been one of the most high-profile cases that we've seen in quite some time.
June 18th, 2018, following a Hockey Canada gala, a group of World Junior teammates meet a 20-year-old here inside this London, Ontario bar. Following a night of drinking and dancing, the young woman arrived here at this downtown hotel with Michael McLeod where they had consensual sex. What happens next has been closely scrutinized. The verdicts now hinge on the legal meaning of one word.
This trial comes down to consent, whether the complainant consented to the sexual activity that did take place.
The young woman, who we can only identify as EM, claims that after having sex with McLeod, multiple players entered and, quote, manipulated and intimidated her into remaining in this hotel room where she says she was sexually assaulted.
And he just said, like, are you okay with this? And she said, yes.
The court has been shown a text message from McLeod inviting teammates to room 209 for a, quote, 3-way, something he didn't share with investigators when he spoke to London police in 2018.
She got on the bed and said, who wants to have sex with me?
It's not just the interviews and testimony in this trial that have been shocking. April 23rd, just 2 days into the trial, a member of the jury claims that over the lunch break here inside this market, they had an inappropriate conversation with one of the defense lawyers for Alex Fermenton. A mistrial is declared. The jury is scrapped. May 26th, a second jury is dismissed here at the courthouse after Alex Fermenton's defense team are accused by jurors of laughing and making them feel uncomfortable, something the lawyers in question deny. Still, the jury is sent home. The proceedings continue as a judge-alone trial.
It's exceptionally rare for that to happen twice in one trial. It's not something that I've seen before.
Former World Junior team captain Dylan Dubé, Cal Foote, Carter Hart, Michael McLeod, and Alex Fermenton have each been charged with sexual assault. McLeod is also facing one charge of being party to the offense. With the verdicts now being delivered by a single judge instead of a jury, the public will receive a reason for the decision, which is also expected to be shared tomorrow. Adrian Gobriel, CTV News, London, Ontario.
A judge has sentenced the man who murdered 4 University of Idaho students in 2022 to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Before Brian Koberger's sentencing, family members gave victim impact statements.
That was the worst day of my life, and I know it always will be.
Koberger admitted to the murders and pled guilty to avoid the death penalty. He was pursuing a PhD in criminal justice at a school close to where the victims lived. Evidence showed he visited their neighborhood at least a dozen times before the murders. No motive has been given. There's also no indication he knew any of the victims. A sentencing hearing is underway for the 2 leaders of the so-called Freedom Convoy protest that took over downtown Ottawa in February 2022. Tamara Leach and Chris Barber were found guilty earlier this year of mischief. The pair were key figures behind the convoy, which protested vaccine mandates and other public health measures. The Crown is seeking 7 years for Leach and 8 for Barber. Barber was also convicted of counseling others to disobey a court order, which ordered protesters to stop honking truck horns. 3 miners trapped in a northern BC mine have made it to a refuge area while they wait to be rescued.
There's water, there's food, and there's compressed air feeding that refuge station. So with that, it's all the basics you need to sustain life. So they're good for a long time.
The men have been trapped since Tuesday morning after a rock collapse in a tunnel. BC's premier says none of the men are injured. At first, the trapped workers were able to communicate until a second collapse cut off communications. One rescuer CTV spoke to says it's not unusual to lose communication in these situations. The province and mining companies say they have all hands on deck to get the workers out safely, which could take days or even weeks. Many farmers in southern Alberta are breathing a sigh of relief after all the rain they've seen this month. Grain farmers say their crops have literally transformed over the last few weeks. Drought-like conditions for the last number of years have been hard on crops. Farmers say that some crops do better when the ground is wet for a prolonged period of time.
They all need moisture, you know, some like moisture at different times, but canola just loves this because canola likes cool nights, cool days too, and moisture just keeps it flowering, and you need flowers to make the pods.
Farmers say slow, consistent rain is preferable to sudden storms. Now they're hoping the weather continues to cooperate for the next few weeks until they can harvest the thriving crops. While recent rain is helping some farmers in Alberta, a lack of rain and hot conditions are detrimental to farmers in other parts of the prairies.
See the yellowing of the plant here and stuff, that's drought stress.
Some communities in Manitoba and Saskatchewan have declared states of emergency due to drought. One Manitoba reeve says livestock will also be affected.
We're not sure how far-reaching these conditions are, and where the local producers are going to be able to source feed to carry them through the winter to maintain the herds they have.
There's still maybe hope that we can get some tonnage out of it for feed for the cattle, but yeah, it's stunted for sure.
One food expert says wildfire smoke could also impact the quality of grains at harvest. Stay with us. Up next, another deal done.
The prevailing view is that Canada should have a better deal.
The implications of a U.S.-Japan trade agreement on Canadian negotiations. Also next, Uber rolling out a new service to help women feel safer in rideshares. And there is a live look from the CTV drone at K-Days. The Midway and the Ferris wheel still spinning around. If you were following, Chris Sheets is no longer up there after 54 hours. He stepped off that ride. Stay with us. Looking at the markets, the Canadian dollar traded for 73 cents to the American dollar. Oil lost 6 cents, closing at $65.25 U.S. a barrel. Gold lost more than $46 on the day. The TSX and Dow Jones both made gains, closing 51 points and 507 points higher, respectively. Markets saw some relief today following an announcement of a trade deal between the United States and Japan. That deal comes just over a week before Canada's trade deal deadline and amid struggles in the Canadian auto industry. CTV's Abigail Beeman takes a look at the implications of the Japan-U.S. deal.
CTV News caught up with the Canadian Automobile Dealers Association in between meetings on Capitol Hill. Hugh Williams has logged more than 30 with lawmakers and the U.S. administration and is feeling encouraged about a trade deal, but not for the August 1st deadline.
Senior senators, have given us the pathfinding that they're optimistic that we're going to have some framework of a deal that will resolve the trading problems between our nations, ideally by Labor Day.
He says it would be unreasonable for Canada to have an agreement that looks worse than the new U.S.-Japan deal that sees auto tariffs cut to 15% from 27.5%.
That deal has a lot of attention in the Senate and congressional leaders that we've been talking to, and I think that the prevailing view is that Canada should have a better deal.
President Trump is finally putting a stop to our country getting ripped off.
But this week, as a result of Trump's tariffs, General Motors reported a 35% decline in second quarter profits with more hard times ahead, and Stellantis a $2.7 billion net loss in the first half of the year.
We're down
about 30% in exports already this year from Canada in vehicles.
Flavio Volpe says he's taken aback by the 15% the Japanese agreed to, and it wouldn't work for Canada.
It's a bad deal. Better to slog it out than to lock in bad terms in the long term.
But it's still a good, valuable piece of insight into what might be achievable and what's the U.S. kind of baseline minimum tariff that might have to stick.
And this afternoon, multiple reports that the European Union is heading towards a similar tariff deal with the U.S. than Japan, a 15% tariff on EU imports into the United States, including autos. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
Rideshare company Uber is launching a new effort just for women. The pilot project will allow female customers to choose rides with women drivers. Similarly, women drivers can request not to be paired with men. The rollout will begin in Los Angeles, San Francisco, and Detroit in the next few weeks. Uber says the feature is based on demand from drivers and customers for more women-only options. The village of Alex says it's removed more than 13 tons of organic matter from its lake over the last 2 years. The village started the project in 2023 after hearing from people who wanted the lake cleaned. It says the algae clogging the lake is due to the lack of natural inflows and outflows. Alex Lake had issues in previous years with algae blooms. Since the cleaning started, there haven't been any.
It helps to clear it of the water, helps for swimming, and to be honest, it helps with the lake odor a bit. It can get a little odor in the late summer.
The lake used to have water pumped in from the Red Deer River. That was stopped in 2018 to prevent Prussian carp, an invasive species of fish. The Alberta Hockey Hall of Fame has inducted 6 new members. Captain Canada, former Edmonton Oiler Ryan Smith, enters the Hall after 19 NHL seasons and many international tournaments as a member of Team Canada. Former Flame Joe Nieuwendyk is also in on the strength of 20 NHL seasons, including as a member of the Calgary Flames' 1989 Stanley Cup winning team. Joining them is Carla McLeod, who represented Team Alberta. She's also won multiple Olympic gold medals along with Cliff Fletcher, Gary Unger, and Howie Draper. Still ahead, Edmonton exclusive. A legendary band on a reunion tour with one stop in Western Canada.
We've got another great night of entertainment coming up right here on CTV, starting at 7 with E-Talk.
A legendary 90s metal band has reformed, and Edmonton will host the only Western Canadian stop on their reunion tour. Acid Bath is playing together for the first time in nearly 30 years. Their sludge metal sound is credited with influencing generations of rock and metal bands since the band broke up in 1997.
They just stopped performing at their peak, and in that time, through the decades, they've become such a massive influence that it's really exciting for metal fans in general, particularly of the band and the genre, that they've reunited.
Acid Bath is playing Fan Park at Ice District October the 18th. Not a top 40 band, Corey, but very dedicated fans, I have to say. And
are you one of them?
I have my ticket, yes.
There you go. Well
so October 18th, good forecast? Or
that's decent.
Yeah, okay, good. Thank you.
We'll keep an eye on that for sure. The weather for tomorrow, for much of the day, decent. We will see a little bit of a warmer day, a nice mix of sun and cloud, and then late afternoon through the supper hour and early evening, we could see some good thunderstorms roll through the region. So tomorrow, a day where you want to keep an eye on the sky. 22 for Friday, 19 for Saturday and Sunday, and a slight chance of showers on the weekend.
All right. Thank you, Corey, and thank you very much for sharing your time with us. For news anytime, visit ctvnewsedmonton.ca or the CTV channel on YouTube. See you.